No collusion, no obstruction. I hope they now go and take a look at the oranges of the investigation, the beginnings of that investigation.
Again, by oranges, the president there meant the origins or beginnings of the investigation that became the Mueller investigation. Our guests have remained with us. Kimberly Atkins, Kelsey Snell, Robert Costa, Jeremy Bash. Jeremy, again, this announcement from the White House, while it's announced tonight under this headline in the New York Times, Trump gives Attorney General sweeping power in review of 2016 campaign inquiry by Maggie Haberman and Mike Schmidt. It appears the AG has to follow established norms. Does this worry you in any way? Very much so, Brian. And look, here, let's break this down. What this order, this directive issued by the White House tonight does is it strips the power of the CIA director, the NSA director, and the director of national intelligence from making decisions about what information should remain classified, which intelligence sources should remain protected. And it gives all of that power over to Bill Barr. Now, to the power to declassify, which is what now Barr has, is also the power to selectively declassify, to let drips and drabs out there to bolster the president's political narrative. And I think that power in the hands of a political ally of the president, the attorney general, who's already shown that he's willing to mislead and misrepresent on behalf of the president, I think is very dangerous. And intelligence sources, human sources tonight, Brian, I think should be concerned that their identity could be revealed in an investigation. Well, that, as they say, gets your attention. And Robert Costa, I know you talked to a key Republican tonight.
Hey, Jeremy brings up very relevant issues, and some sources of mine in the intelligence community and beyond Jeremy, words are really appalled tonight by the administration's decision. But talking to the administration, it is clear they think they can get away with this because they feel all they're trying to do is give the attorney general the ability to declassify information as part of this IG report into how the counterintelligence operation started that was related to the Trump campaign. But this has a potential cascade of consequences in the weeks and months ahead. But it's important to note briefly, Brian, that this is part of a real effort by Mark Meadows, the Freedom Caucus, other House Republicans, that cadre of Republicans who are really in the Trump wing of the GOP have been trying to make this origins their focus for months. Finally, tonight, the president got on their side and formally gave the AG this power. And, Kimberly, it's clear, watch any Fox News in prime time, there was an air among some of the lawmakers of vindication after Mueller dropped that now we're going to go after the folks who caused this to be a thing in the first place.
Right. Investigate the investigators. And this is not new. Remember, they were calling for a second special counsel while that investigation was going on to look into the origins of this. There's a lot of talk about the Steele dossier, which we know from reporting was not what spurred this investigation in the first place. But there is a persistent narrative that it is. And now, just as Jeremy said, normally speaking, giving an attorney general, the head of the DOJ, a declassification power, and especially saying that he has to stay within the bounds of the law, may not in itself seem like a big deal, but given that this attorney general has been providing cover for the president, we have seen him classify the Mueller report in a way that we could read with our own eyes, was in conflict with what it actually said, to now say that he can pick and choose what the public sees and what the public doesn't. The national security folks who I was frantically texting with tonight are deeply, deeply concerned about that.
And Jeremy Bash, back up to you for a second. Are we going to have, in effect, two Justice Departments? One, the cadre loyal to Barr, and the other, the institutionalists trying to do the job of the Justice Department? Actually, I'd put it differently, Brian. There's one Justice Department, and it's principally staffed by career law enforcement professionals. And now you have a small political cadre at the top that is going to war against those professionals. I think it's very dangerous. It's bad for morale, and it's going to tear apart what has traditionally been a very nonpartisan community. Kelsey, I've saved a difficult question for you, and that is, everything is taking a long time. And the part of this that the public sees has rendered the Democrats in the House, where they have party control, to kind of angry letter writers, and everything has kind of ground down quite slowly. There's got to be some building frustration.
Oh, there absolutely is. That's something I heard a lot from Democrats this week, including from Maxine Waters, the Financial Services Committee chairwoman. She was saying that it's really difficult when you're in a situation where going through the courts, which is what Democrats expect will happen next with many of these subpoenas and document requests, going to courts for decisions takes a long time. And it's very hard to go back for a member of Congress to go back home over a break like they have coming up for Memorial Day and talk to their constituents and say, trust me, I'm working on this. The courts are taking a long time, but I'm working on it. Because voters really care about results, and they often don't want to wait around or even forget what it is that Democrats are working on. So there is anxiety, and that's one of the main challenges for Pelosi and the rest of her leadership team, is to convince their members to stay the course and to stay calm in the middle of something that could take years.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.